Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Julie. And we are lucky to welcome our guest, Jon McLaren. Welcome to the podcast, Jon.
Hi, thank you for having me. How are you guys doing?
We're great. It's so fun to meet you. And we're excited to spend some time with you and learn about you and Sam, your character on When Hope Calls.
Perfect.
So welcome.
Thank you.
So we've known the character Sam since the first season of When Hope Calls, but it's been recast. How was that coming into an established character?
I mean, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking, right? I mean, especially with a fan base like this, like people really love the show. So it's always a little bit nerve-wracking stepping into someone else's shoes, so to speak, because you want to do the character justice, and you also want to make sure that the fans are happy with I guess the recast, if you will. But I've done it before. It kind of happens all the time in the industry. It pops up every now and then. So while it's nerve-wracking, I was very very excited to join the cast of the show.
So, how did you get involved in this project?
I mean, it's like most. I mean, the way it works for us, kind of as actors, is it's our agent's job to kind of put projects across our desk to see if we'd be interested. And so when this one came across my desk, of course, I was like, yes, I would love to audition for this. Thank you. But funny story is when I auditioned for it, they didn't explicitly say it was for Sam. So I actually didn't know that I was actually stepping into a pre-existing character.
Okay.
I think they had named the character Jake or something like that. Like basically the way it works is we get a breakdown of the show and kind of a quick synopsis of the show, and then we get a bit of coverage of the different characters that we could audition for, type thing, and a description of the character. And so the character, I think I have to double check, but it certainly wasn't Sam.
Okay.
And so I booked the role not realizing I was actually, I guess, taking over for a previous Sam. And but I'm glad, I'm so blessed and happy to be here, and I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this. Everybody, all the Hardys and hopefuls out there have been absolutely fantastic and welcoming and so kind so far. So,
okay, so I don't know if you've told this story yet, but was Jake? Were you reading for Sam just with a different name? Like, were you reading that character, or a scene maybe that you've shot, or was it just kind of a random?
I would have to go back and check the sides. Sides are like what you get for what you audition. Okay, perfect. I'd have to go back and check for them. I know that after I found out it was Sam, I certainly went back and looked at the description of the character Jake, and he certainly was a prospector and kind of down on his luck, and so it certainly was for Sam. They had just changed the name of the character, probably because they don't want people's preconceived notions or maybe playing it exactly like, the other actor did. They kind of want you to make it your own and do your own thing. So that actually in and of itself takes a bit of the pressure off, because it's kind of like, we like what you did. You're here. Do your thing.
Well, Sam conveniently has this thing where he's shown up on in the show with a look that's not quite as identifiable in a big beard. Both seasons that's happened. Seems like that was a fantastic way to transition back in. But Sam and Nora meet in a cute way, or Sam and Maggie meet in this. I
know what you're saying. Are you talking about kind of so coming up, or this past week, we watched Sam meet Nora, and it was kind of in a meet cute way, like coffee, and they bump into each other, and then it kind of starts this whole thing with Maggie. So we're kind of jumping the gun a little bit.
That's not what I was saying.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I added that question in, and I'm like,
because he's like got his horse and all of his junk. And
I was like, where are we driving this carriage? Where are we going?
And he's got a beard. He's got his horse. He's got all of his stuff. He's looking a little like he's been in the woods too long.
I want to know what you guys thought of the beard.
I thought it looked great, and I saw the hair and makeup little clip of it being done. So.
Yeah, from Scotia. Scotia was our wonderful lead makeup artist on the show, and she's fantastic. Which kind of ruined it, because my next question was, did you think it was my facial hair? But if you've seen the video.
We've seen the video.
No,
but I think it looked great, and Sam needs to look like he's got a horse and too much stuff, and he's been in the woods too long.
Oh yeah,
we're up
way
in the
too long,
prospecting way too long. No, it's kind of cute because he just kind of comes rolling into town.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect, because I think if Sam would have showed up without that, we wouldn't have recognized who it was right away, especially if it's a new actor. But also, it's just so kind of classic Sam, like that.
Yeah, and I believe in season 1 as well. Like Sam comes to town all scraggly and worn.
Because he's been prospecting.
Yeah, it's kind of the running thing for Sam. So
it made for a great transition. I think the whole beard, I've been prospecting. I love that, actually. It was like, I thought it was a great way to transition through, and everybody knew that was Sam because he's coming in prospecting. You got the beard. I thought it was a great way to transition you into the role of Sam.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
All right. So what was your first impression of Sam?
I mean, I love him. Like, I think he's such a relatable guy, in my opinion. And there's a lot of things in Sam that I kind of see in myself sometimes, in what he's trying to do with his life and his career. And, there's a lot of, I think, similarities between chasing. Let me say it this way. I think Sam at his core is a bit of a dreamer, and he's a guy who's trying to chase his dream of being a successful prospector no matter what it takes. And I think that in my life, choosing to be an actor, it's not always the easiest career choice in the world. There's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs. And I think anybody who maybe goes outside the, I don't want to call it the normal path in life, but anybody who pursues something in the arts or pursues their dreams, there's a lot of hard work that goes into that, and it doesn't happen overnight. And I think there's a lot of, again, there's a bit of Jon and Sam, and Sam and Jon, so to speak. And I really respect that about Sam, because I know how hard it is. I love him as a character. He's just such a kind, down to earth guy, bit of a dreamer, and he's just trying to find himself, which I think a lot of people can resonate with.
Yeah. When Sam comes back, when we left after season 1, there'd kind of been a little bit of love triangle, and Sam had been left hanging. But we come back in season 2, and Sam and Maggie actually have a little bit of a connection.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. Like, I think, I look at the relationship between Sam and Maggie, and, they allude to it in season 2, but it's just like, I feel like Maggie's like that type of person who, has some of the similar, what's the right word I'm trying to say? Similar beliefs in a way. Like, she's a bit of a dreamer herself, like she's left her home to kind of find herself and follow her dreams. And I think there's a mutual respect there between Sam and Maggie, and, having somebody else who kind of shares, your dreams and understands you, I think really brings people close together. And, I think in the Christmas special too, like, the town was kind of alluding to like, oh, is there something there? I don't know. And so Sam comes back to town, and I think it's, they kind of left that a big question mark for the season.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it is fun. I hadn't really thought of that connection where Maggie is a bit of a dreamer as well, even though her profession is a little bit more concrete. She's not going off looking for gold. She's working and as a healthcare worker. But you're right, she did leave. She left her home. We know she likes to travel, So she is a bit of a dreamer, and I hadn't put that together, and I really love that. I love that connection.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So what else about their dynamic do you like?
I mean, I think with Sam and Maggie, they just, because they have that common understanding, it's, they're just, there's that connection and that easygoingness between them, and they kind of lean on each other for, and you'll see as the season goes on, and I can't say certain things, but there's certain things that they kind of lean on each other for. And I think it's, it's a nice thing when you have that kind of, that person there for anyone, really. Like you have that person in your life that you can just lean on, whether it's a best friend or a family member, or, maybe a potential, romantic love interest. And, I think they just really understand each other. And I think there's a mutual respect there between the two of them.
Yeah.
So they have an easygoing way with each other, but kind of fun. Maggie's parents are in town when Sam shows up. That's not the most easy-going interaction.
I love Maggie's parents. They're great. No, I think Sam certainly got less than great looks when he walked into town from the parents. But I mean, to be fair, if you had a guy walk in like that,
Right.
and it was your daughter,
you'd be judgmental.
Yeah, I know. And I think Sam probably picked up on that right away. He's like, I just really need a quick shower and a shave, and let me get my life together here real quick.
When Sam says that, and I'm just like, he literally is shaving a haircut 2 bits.
Yeah. I was like, I gotta go. I really gotta go. No, yeah, but I mean, I think they're just parents being, cautious, protective parents, as any good parent would be for their son or daughter, right? I mean,
but it makes a fun dynamic.
Right.
Oh yeah, I mean, it doesn't make it any easier for Sam.
That's fun. So we're learning this upcoming episode that Sam has struck gold, and it has so much money, he has no idea what to do with it. And he just kind of has that itch to spend. So was that fun to play? Just kind of like looking through the catalogs and wanting to buy Maggie dresses and jewelry.
Yeah, it'd be like hitting the jackpot in the lottery, right? And so as an actor and someone who personally in real life hasn't struck gold or won the lottery, it's a lot of fun to play in that space, whilst also, like, you'll see what happens when you win the lottery. Like, do you go shouting it from the rooftops? Do you keep it quiet? What happens if you don't keep it quiet? Like, these are all questions you kind of have to ask yourself, because you never know who's going to start coming out of the woodworks and what that's going to make your life be. And I think as you watch the season, there's a lot of things, about Sam, where he's still in the position where he's still trying to find himself. Like, what happens when you spent your whole life prospecting and then all of a sudden it happens?
Yeah.
What do you do? Right.
Because he's struck gold, he's got some funds. It also weaves him into Nora's storyline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's I will just say, like anything in life, nothing ever comes easy, whether that's in your dreams, whether that's at work, whether that's in relationships. There's no real easy road, as you all know, in life. And so there's going to be a lot of fun ups and downs and unexpected things to come. So,
I mean, conveniently, Nora is a lawyer.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, that was super convenient.
Yeah. And even in the meeting of Nora, as you said, it was kind of that, it's that trope, or that, that meet cute, and it happens. And I'm sure, when I read it, and I'm sure when the audience, saw it, they're like, oh, oh. And I know certainly the people of Brookfield, or some of them anywhere, were paying attention, Maggie too. And it's kind of like,
Yep.
Right? Kind of gets the ball moving in a lot of different ways.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So you mentioned that this is not going to come easy for Sam. I have a little echo. I don't know why. So what can you tease about the challenges he's going to face kind of personally? I mean, we see him this episode going to work on the ranch and doubt if that will happen. It kind of seems like he's going through a bit of an identity crisis, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And he really is trying to find himself. And in that, it's whenever you're trying to discover who you are, or you are maybe leaving a job for a new career, you're going to try a bunch of things before, something hits. And I think I will just say that some things can be a great fit, but things get in the way. And there's a lot of hilarious moments to come with Sam, and before he really finds who he is and what he's looking for in life. It's so hard not to be able to be like,
Yeah. You did good. But I love how it's bringing the comedy to kind of to the town and to Sam and all the things he's involved in, and it's not just the drama.
Yeah, what's really great about this season is it kind of has a bit of everything. It does have the drama. It certainly, has romance. It has the comedy aspect to it, and there's even some action in there as well. Like, it covers a lot of ground this season, and I think people are going to be really, really pleased and surprised with what's to come. It's a lot of fun, and I had like multiple moments, certainly with Sam, where we were filming and I was in tears laughing when they yelled cut, because there's just it was so much fun.
That's great. Because that's the way, you like those, like, there can be drama, there can be fun, a little bit of everything. I find it interesting though that Sam's been a prospector the whole time we've known him. Why do you think he is gonna give up prospecting? Why wouldn't he just keep prospecting? It's going well.
It's a good question, because I was often raising the question on set, and maybe it's like any profession, right? Sometimes it kind of wears on you, and certainly something where it's that physical, maybe you want to change it up a little bit, or maybe you've conquered that one mountain and you want to climb the next. That's kind of it's in our nature to do so. But it does raise the question though, like, sometimes if you've been doing something your whole life, can you really, what's the old saying, like, you can take the dog out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the dog, So, we don't know. We don't know where, hopefully, fingers crossed, future seasons will go, but we'll see what happens. But it certainly was a lot of fun exploring potential new paths for Sam in season 2.
Will we see a little bit more of that, exploring different paths in upcoming episodes?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
How many things can Sam do in a season?
Oh, yes. There's, it's, I think I interact with a lot of people on the show, and it's a lot of fun. I will say that.
So we get to see him like try out the ranch. So certainly interacting out there with the ranch people.
He certainly gets outside of his comfort zone. That's for sure. So he's not in Kansas anymore.
Gonna go hang out with some other people in the town, which we have some amazing characters in the cast. The cast of characters for the show is wide and kind of fun.
Oh, it's fantastic. You have a lot of like really like, returning favorites. You've got a lot of new cast as well. It's that was the one thing about the show that I was absolutely blown away by, is just everybody was so fun, so welcoming. Like, there was no egos on set. Everybody was just there because, we're all just doing something we love, and we love the world of Brookfield and living in it. And it's just top to bottom. And you could feel it even before day one. We got to have dinner with, people at the network, and everybody was just as excited, if not more. with bringing the show back and to see where it goes. So I've been very lucky to join the cast, and I'm super grateful for it, and I'm really excited to see how the fans react.
Yeah, well, the fans have been waiting a long time for this to happen, so I think that the excitement is real.
Yeah, I mean, as a kind of a spin-off of When Calls the Heart, I see the poster on your wall there,
yeah.
Sarah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, and it's behind your shoulder too.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just think just the Hardys and the Hopefuls. I mean, it's I don't even view them as kind of the names for the shows. I view them as like more of a movement, and like just a bunch of people who kind of share core values, right? And to have this show back after what was it? I think the first season came out in 2019.
Yeah. So
to go through, we all went through such turmoil the last 5 years, and COVID, and then specifically in our industry there was a bunch of strikes, and it's just been like, entertainment wise, it's been a bit of a nightmare for like 5 years. So to be able to bring the show back after that long is such a blessing, and I think people are just excited. I'm excited.
You're not a stranger to like the movie of the weeks and kind of this genre, but were you familiar with the fan base and these shows before you came on, or was it something you learned about as you were in the process of getting the role?
Yeah, no, I was certainly aware. I mean, having been kind of in the, I guess, fan base adjacent, if you want to call it that. I've worked with quite a few people that have been on these shows or When Calls the Heart, and so I was very, very aware of it. Interestingly enough, like Cindy and I were on a show together previously years ago called Heartland.
Yeah, just a little show.
Just a little show.
Season.
No, I was going to give you guys a little anecdote. It's funny because we play. What's that? Sorry?
Are you her brother?
Yeah, we played brother and sister on the show. However, we had never met. We never had any scenes together. We were on different seasons. Yeah. And so I remember when I found out that I booked the role, kind of the first thing you do as an actor, nobody likes to say it, but is you run to everybody's IMDb and you see who's on the show and what they've done. And I looked up Cindy and I was like, oh my goodness. She was my sister.
She's hot Ash.
Mom, why didn't you tell me?
Right. Yeah. So brother and sister finally got to meet.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, that was one of the nice things. Like I had never met Cindy before, but I had worked with Chris before, briefly in a project. I've worked with Nick before on a project, and there's a bunch of other names that are, Trevor Donovan's a regular in the scene as well, and Jesse Hutch, and I don't know them, but you look them up and you're like, oh yeah, I'm very familiar with their work and the fan base.
And even I was saying, like, fans might really recognize you from, you had 2 Christmas movies this last Christmas, a novel Christmas, and what was the Hallmark one?
Oh gosh, what was
probably Holiday Mismatch, maybe.
Yeah,
Holiday Mismatch.
Mismatch on Hallmark, and A Novel Christmas, which we've had Brigitte Kingsley and Andrew Simic on multiple times. We
Brigitte, Andrew, if you're watching, what's up? I love you guys.
We love them.
We absolutely love them also.
They're like the greatest human beings and the greatest duo. Right? Actually, they're a trio, Patrick as well.
Right. Yeah. No, so just people know you from that. And we've had Kevin McGarry on a few times.
Yep. I've worked with Kevin before as well. Yeah, he's a hoot.
A Winter Castle, right? You were the guy that married in that one.
That's
right.
Yep.
That place was cold.
Yeah. And melting, if we heard right. Yeah.
It was melting. Yeah. We shot there. It was like the week after they close it down. But when they close it down, they turn off all of the machinery that keeps it at the right temperature. And so it's then just dependent on the elements, but it's the end of the season. So it's like, it's starting to warm up. The walls are melting.
It's terrifying.
You're like, is this going to collapse on me?
Yeah. But there you are.
I have zero desire to go to an ice castle.
It's incredible though. If you ever have
I'm
the
sure it's
opportunity to do
amazing.
it, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Maybe someday, but I will not stay in one.
I'm not saying, I've been to ice castles many
I will
times,
visit.
but I'm not staying overnight in the ice castle.
Yeah, I know. It's a little bizarre when you're in just a house of ice, but they have built-in fireplaces. It's the
wrong.
oddest thing.
Nuts.
Feels wrong.
Well, that's why they film a lot of these movies in there, right? Because
Yeah.
it is pretty cool.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit of your story. Like, how did you get into this world of acting?
Oh, I mean, truthfully, I fell into the industry kind of when I was much younger in my teenage years. I had started with a bit of modeling originally, just out of my hometown from Ottawa, Ontario. And I started doing a tiny bit of modeling there, and the agency also represented actors, and they're like, "Hey, like, do you want to like try taking a stab at this?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And so they sent me out on my first audition, and it was for this little tiny indie short film. It was a horror film by a guy, and I shout him out all the time because I ran with him for years. His name is Adrian Langley, and I went to this audition, and it was a cold read, which cold reads are terrifying, let alone when it's your first audition ever. And I just threw it out there. I laid it out, and I ended up booking that very first audition that I ever went on, and fell in love with it. And I told my agent at the time, I was like, "No more of this modeling stuff. We're done with that. We're focusing only on film and TV for now on." So yeah, I kind of just serendipitously fell into the industry, and I've never looked back since.
So you weren't like a little kid saying, "I'm going to be an actor. That's what I'm going to be."
Yeah, I mean, I do. I kind of knew there is a very distinct moment when I was, I want to say probably 10 to 12 years old. I don't even know what film it was, but I was in the theater, and I remember looking around the theater and watching everybody erupt in laughter at the same time, kind of cry at the same time, and all reacting and coming together at the same time. And I remember looking around and be like, I want to be that guy on the screen that brings people together, because I think I just thought I was so blown away. And I think that's kind of what it's all about. And I think that's what's special about When Hope Calls is it's such that it's that nice, family show that brings people together, and it gets people back, in the living room together as a family and watch a show together. And it's just, I think that's probably where my interest started with being an actor. But then I just kind of fell into modeling, and then fell into my first audition. And then I think it was then I made the decision to be like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So have you ever done a series before?
Yeah, I mean, I've done Heartland, and I've done certainly done limited.
How many episodes did you do of Heartland?
I'd have to go back, and I was on season 8, and I think it was 8 episodes.
Yeah. Okay, so few.
It feels like a million years ago.
It's season 18. That was like a decade ago.
I know. I can't believe. I mean, it's incredible for that show. I mean, they're such, and they deserve it. They're such fantastic people over there. They really. I'm sure you guys have talked to plenty of them.
So
only Cindy, and Kevin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We were
really covered it. Yeah.
Going to try to talk to Amber for a Christmas movie, but then that was like when all the strikes were on. Right? It was.
Yeah. It stonewalled a lot of people from doing a lot of this kind of stuff, which was unfortunate at the time. But if you get a chance to talk to her, she's fantastic.
Yeah,
she's lovely.
Yeah, because Max
McGuire.
McGuire?
Yeah. We've had him on a couple of times.
Yeah, I love that's my boy. Movie. He's from my hometown too.
We
met his dogs.
Oh, so cute. His little doodle.
Yeah.
We love Max.
Crash
So.
podcast. Yeah.
Usually mine is sitting back there, but he ran upstairs.
I'm sure you'll hear mine barking at some point.
What kind of dog do you have?
A Great Pyrenees.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
How old?
I think she's about 6 or 7. We rescued her, so we're not 100%.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love dogs.
She's great. She's really great. She's babysitting the kids upstairs now.
I love it. I love it.
Do you bring your dog to set?
I haven't yet. No.
Oh,
No, he usually stays back with my partner while I'm on set. But I always joke, I'm like, I'm just gonna bring him, and she's like, no, then I'll be alone. You can't bring the dog.
But that
what kind do you have?
He's a Labradoodle.
Okay.
Argo, yeah, he's 9 years old. 9, 10?
see,
It's been a while. It's all a blur.
It's all
around-ish there. But the set for Brookfield, how fun is it to have like a set that has like a town and a house? And...
it's so incredible. Like, I wish everybody could experience walking onto that set for the first time, because it's just like you are literally being transported to a completely different era.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to have, a set of that amount of detail, because it just, I say this all the time, like, we're in charge of kind of embodying the characters, but part of that is, as much of that is us saying the words, and it's just as much the world around them, and it's just as much the wardrobe that we wear. It all plays a part in ultimately bringing the world and the characters to life, and what they've done with Brookfield is it's unbelievable. It's incredible.
Now, most characters kind of have a home base on set, but Sam does not. So you're kind of all over the town, a little bit of a wanderer right now. So did you have a favorite place to film?
Oh, that's a good question. Shoot, you caught me off guard. And I don't want to give anything too much away. I will say probably Maggie's shop.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie's shop is a lot of fun. Not only because we had a lot of great scenes in there, but it's also actually it's quite a tight space. Believe it or not, it's sometimes hard to tell those things on camera, but we got to really creatively make these, or try to bring these scenes to life in a tight space. And you get a couple of cameras in there, and the director, and all of the cinematographer, and a bunch of lighting people in there, and the space just starts to go like this.
Smaller.
And you have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It created a lot of challenges, but it's also really fun, because you get to be really creative with how you bring the scenes to life. So I think that's probably it's probably my favorite space so far.
There's a lot of cool things in her space too, like the set deck in there is really cool.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And and even the little grocery shop there as well is really, really neat. And like the stuff that they've put in there is like, I don't know if you can tell on camera when you're watching the show, but like I was like, was this legitimately preserved from like 1920? Because this looks unbelievable. Like, it's so good. It's so sorry, I'm bumping my camera. But they've just done such an incredible job with that place.
What was your favorite set? Like, I'm not favorite set, but favorite prop in the Mercantile? Was there like something that was just really cool? Because then we can all look for it.
Favorite prop you know what? I mean, shoot, I don't know if they've shown it yet. They might have. I don't want to spoil anything, but I guess I can say it. And if it,
we can always take it.
I will just say I got to use a really. It's not much of a spoiler, but I got to flip through a really neat catalog.
Yes.
If you can picture catalogs from back in the day. I'm sorry, I can't place what episode it is in. So I'm trying to figure out, if people have seen it or not.
I think it's 3.
I believe that's episode 3. Sam,
I think it is.
So
we're probably safe by the time this airs. So
Yeah.
there's that catalog was really neat to see. It was like I just think back to when I was like a kid flipping through like old like Sears catalogs or something. You know what I mean? But then take that to the next level back to like the 1920s, and
so was it actually like a whole catalog filled, or did you?
It was a whole thing, like a whole thing, and it was thick.
That's really fun. So did they find an old catalog, or did the Set Deck make a catalog?
I think they made it, to be honest.
Okay,
and kudos to them, because it like it was really neat. And you're flipping through there, and it's got it's got dresses, and it's got tools, and it's got I don't even know, sewing machines. I don't know what they had back then, but it had like everything, and everything cost like 15 cents.
Yeah.
But I remember in between takes, I would just sit there and I was going page by page of this 300-page catalog, and it was all filled.
What am I going to buy?
Yeah, what am I going to buy?
What should Sam get?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive, because we've heard a lot of times they'll just have the first few pages, and then it's a coloring book or just
they went full board. Yeah. It was incredible.
Love that.
That's fun. Let Sam's fingers do the walking, right?
Yeah.
Yellow pages. Going on through to go shopping. No, that's
I'll take
fun.
one of everything. And the company.
Like over
$20
on his pocket.
Yeah. I'd like to purchase your company for $25. Thank you.
I'll just put this amount of gold on there, because he doesn't really have dollars. He's got
gold. I know. I can't wait to see that play out for the rest of the season, and what happens and what adventures. I imagine we're going to have some kind of.
Oh yeah. And there's the old saying of more money, more problems. I will say that.
That feels like a really good tease for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to put it.
We'll definitely make that a clip.
Yeah.
So that's really fun. Because this is a time period piece, everyone's got costumes that are time period appropriate. Do you like wearing a costume that's kind of in a different time period, or what do you think about that?
I love it, and I think I alluded it to a previous, but it really does help to bring your character to life. There's just it gives you a certain aura when you strap on a piece from that period of time, and the suspenders, your podcast, and the suspenders specifically. Though I will say, old school suspenders are really annoying to put on and take off when you're trying to switch scenes, and you've only got maybe like 1 or 2 sets of suspenders that you keep having to flip back. Like if you're rushing, I'm like doing it myself, and it's all buttons, and it's just like a million buttons. There's no zippers back then. It's a lot of buttons.
Because they can button on to the pants, and there's no clamps.
There's nothing. It's just straight up buttons. And I was like, this is why clamps and zippers were created. Somebody got tired of doing this every day.
Yeah, because even there's a reason there's a classic Levi jeans which you can still buy, and it's always kind of trendy, has all the buttons, because that's how they came.
Yeah.
That's how they started, right?
No, I'm a zipper guy. 1000%.
Most everybody living in this century.
Yeah.
I feel like that has to be a clip too.
I'm a zipper guy. People are either gonna love me or be like, this guy is just an absolute idiot.
No, everybody will be looking for the buttons on the suspenders now.
Yeah. They're usually hidden though, because there's also a vest. Usually the vest goes over top as well, so you don't actually see them. So it's like, what was even the point of the buttons? You could have just.
It's to help you get in character, obviously.
I know.
In case you don't have the vest on. Yeah, when you're a little unbuttoned,
Yeah.
It's just-
I did. Okay, so John, what was the most challenging scene you filmed for season 2? I mean, maybe you can't give it away too much yet if it hasn't aired yet, but was there something that stands out to you?
I think there is, but I can't quite say it yet. I think it's coming up in probably episode 4 or 5.
okay.
I think. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't really say too much. I will just say no. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't want to ruin anything. Yeah.
So we will just watch for.
I think just keep an eye out. You know, I will say in the episode, Sam doesn't like something a whole lot, and I wasn't overly a big fan either. I'll just say that. It's not going to make sense probably until you see it, but yeah.
I kind of love that. So it's a little mystery for us to watch for.
Yes. Yeah.
Sam
When you're
doesn't like
doing
it?
take
John
after
doesn't
take after take.
Okay.
Yeah. It's I'll just
Sam's not a fan. John's not a fan. I love that. That'll be fun to watch for. Because the cast is big. What do you like about having scenes with so many different actors?
Oh, it's a dream. Like that's what it's all about. It's about just, you know, the dynamic between you and another character. When you get to do that between, you know, not only obviously Maggie and I had a lot of scenes together, but then you get to go throw down chops with people like Cindy, who's fantastic, and a bunch of the other characters on the show who I won't name just to be safe. But, you know, it's just nice because, as I said earlier, everybody was so fantastic and everybody's so freaking talented. It's unbelievable, you know, and it's you know, it's like a family. And when you get to do that day in and day out and do something you love, it's nice.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What do you want everybody to take away from the character of Sam, like this season?
I just think that I hope everybody, again, I think he's just somebody that a lot of people can relate to. He's a guy who's just, you know, struggling at times to find out who he is while following his dreams, and, you know, hopefully meeting someone along the way. And I think there's just a lot of relatable qualities in Sam that exist in all of us. And I hope that resonates and comes off right with everybody who's watching, is my hope.
Yeah.
I love that. That. Okay, I actually want to ask a question that's like probably backs us up a bit.
No, that's okay.
A lot of horses. Horses are a common theme in this series. Did you have experience with horses before you got there?
I did, and it's funny. It's funny because I've never gotten to ride a horse on set for a character, not on Heartland.
Nope, because I was like, on Heartland, you did not. I had to think about that a little bit.
I know. I was certainly around horses on Heartland, and same thing with the opening montage for When Hope Calls.
Yeah,
I'm walking into town with a horse.
Got a lot of stuff.
And I kept bugging, you know, our showrunner and writer Alfonso. I was like, you got to put me on the horse. Please. I can do it, and I can do it. I've ridden horses before. I've just never had the opportunity to do it on camera, and it's killing me a little bit inside.
So we're going to lift that request up for the next season. We're just going to be all optimistic.
Please.
Sam needs to ride a horse.
Everybody just start spamming the comments of every official and unofficial place where When Hope Calls exists and make it happen.
Yes.
We need to see Sam on a horse.
Please.
Because ranching might not be for him, but he's still a horse guy. So
yeah, exactly.
We need to see that happen. Hopefully in season 3. That would be great.
I hope so too.
John, would you play a little favorites game with us?
Of course.
Okay. You can give more than one answer. It's not a real game. So
Not a real
what?
game.
It's a real game, and people need to take this seriously.
We're scoring you.
Yeah, Julie's over in the corner being like,
Got my pen out.
green, eh? Okay.
Making a list.
Nope.
So this one I was actually thinking of earlier. You mentioned how when you were a kid sitting in the movie theater, you know, you were watching a movie, but you can't remember the name of it, which shocked me. But that was the moment you kind of knew you wanted to be an actor. So I was wondering if there was a movie that stayed with you all that time that kind of is your favorite or maybe inspired you in some way.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going back to my childhood,
Well, it could be any time.
could be any movie.
You can list more than one.
I just was thinking, oh, that was going to be your favorite movie, and then you didn't know the name of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember. So I can't even remember. I just don't remember the film I was watching in the theaters, but I remember that feeling is what really resonated and stuck with me. You know, I used to watch, and I could quote this whole movie and sing every song from it to this day, is The Lion King when I was a kid.
Yes. Sorry, in theaters.
Yeah, it was so good. You know, just Simba. Like I loved that movie when I was a kid. I think I watched it probably and drove my parents nuts. I watched it on repeat.
So many great songs too.
Oh, so many, you know. I always have a hard time with these questions because there's too many, you know, good films over the years. My goodness. That kind of shape who you are. I'm trying to think. I used to be a big, and still am, you know, Al Pacino fan. I used to love and look up to Sean Connery. I loved watching him on screen. And, you know, I used to, not unsurprisingly, I used to be a big James Bond guy back in the day. And I still love that. But yeah, I could never pick just one, but, you know, there's certain actors and actresses that, you know, you look up to and you just, man, I want to get there. That's the goal, you know?
Yeah, understood.
Okay, before I ask you the next one, what's your favorite song out of The Lion King?
Oh, shoot. Probably it's got to be a toss up between probably Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Okay, yeah.
Or I Just Can't Wait to Be King.
Oh, yeah, I love those. We sing a lot of Be Prepared around here, so.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite TV series or something you're binging currently?
Currently, actually, funny enough, it's a few years old now, but we just finished watching Mad Men, which was fantastic. Really excited for Handmaid's Tale to come back. Super excited for that. Severance. Have you guys watched Severance?
I have not.
Severance,
but everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, Severance is great. Shrinking.
Okay.
Have you seen that with Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Started that one. Yeah, it's great.
The Bear. Have you guys seen The Bear?
Yeah. So
you have to watch The Bear. It's so you have to watch all of these.
We sometimes write them down.
Yeah, write them down.
I was going to say, you guys are currently failing your own quiz right now.
I know. Well, it just depends. But currently, we just finished watching The Pit. So.
Which one? Sorry.
The Pit.
Oh, I heard it's really good.
So good. So good. Yeah.
What else? Okay, The Pit. I'll get that one down.
Yeah.
What
So that's
else?
on Max HBO. That's the Noah Wiley ER.
Yeah.
Not the original Noah Wiley.
The original one.
Yeah.
It's the new one. So it's 15 episodes and it's 15 hours in a single day. So each episode is an hour of the shift. Yeah.
Sorry, each episode is an hour of the 15
shift.
hours?
So it's an episode is an hour and it's an hour of a shift in the ER. And when you watch the whole season, now you've worked a shift.
Cool. That's like similar. You guys remember the show 24?
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland. Same kind of concept. Very different setting.
Yeah.
But just as much pressure, I'm sure.
Right.
I have not seen The Pit. I just binged the one with Kate Hudson. on Netflix about the basketball team, and I can't think of the name of it.
Oh shoot!
But I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Netflix.
Yep.
Kate
Yeah,
Hudson.
I have to check that out. Yeah, she's great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, what is it called? Hold on, let's Google it.
Now you gotta like Google what is the show Kate Hudson that I just watched.
Have you guys
Running
seen
Point?
Which one? Sorry,
Running Point.
Oh, I've seen that pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen shoot, what is it called? Adolescence, maybe?
No.
On Netflix?
I have to watch it because I've just heard. I mean, everybody we've talked to lately has told us to watch it.
It is unbelievable, and the cinematography in that show, the way they shoot it is one continuous take for the entire episode.
Oh, jeez.
It never cuts. And I actually, it's funny because I messaged his name is Johnny Yap or Jonathan Yap. He was the DOP on When Hope Calls, and I immediately messaged him I was like, have you seen this show? And how are they doing this? Because it never, usually when like you can see the moment where the camera wipes behind like a car or somebody's head, and it's like, okay, they probably hid the cut in there.
Right.
But you can't find it. They're always following somebody throughout the world. And even there's moments where you're on the ground and then all of a sudden it switches to like, it just zips up into a drone shot and it's like aerial.
Yeah.
Just
I do have to watch it. Yeah.
Watch it. It's
amazing. I love a good unique cinematography. It's one of my favorites.
And you know, the cast is phenomenal on that show as well. It's so good. You'll be glued to the screen. Yeah,
I've been hesitant to watch it because I know everybody's like, if you have kids, you have to watch this. And I'm like, I don't want to even know.
Don't damage my kids.
I don't want to know, but I will check it out. Make it a priority.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you are not acting, what do you like to do in your spare time? Do you have a favorite hobby?
Yeah. I mean, I play a ton of sports. I usually play as a true Canadian boy. I play hockey all winter long. I've got a great group of friends that I play hockey with. And then in the summer, I play a lot of baseball with a lot of the same guys, and golf as well. I love doing that. I'm also a bit of a nerd, so I'm kind of a gamer as well. So I still play some video games, and I even stream a little bit online with my little community there because I've done some video games in my career as well.
So which video games have you done? Just share.
I've done I had like a tiny thing on a series called or game called Far Cry 3. I did a bunch of characters on Far Cry 5, same series, later game. And then I got to play Star-Lord in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, which was my personal favorite in that space. So
it's pretty cool.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I grew up on that kind of stuff with like the original Nintendo, and it just kind of stuck.
Right.
Do you ever play the games that you were in?
I did, and that's actually one of the reasons I started streaming was I started streaming on a platform called Twitch when Guardians of the Galaxy dropped. Just because I wanted to see what it was like. I'm like, so many people do it now, and it's not just gaming. Like, so many people do their podcasts on there and a whole bunch of different stuff. And I was like, I'll give it a shot, and it kind of stuck. And I've got a really great community that we call ourselves the Rough Cut Collective, and
I love that.
Yeah, it's a lot
of the gaming world. The Twitch, that's a huge streaming community. It's massive. It's not small at all.
No, it's a pretty incredible platform.
Do you play yourself? Like,
what's that? Sorry.
When you're playing, do you use your character? Like.
Yeah, so in Guardians, they call it the player character, and I was the player character, which is the one you actually control in the game. So I was literally controlling myself and throwing myself off cliffs and killing myself, and
that's amazing.
as you should,
as one does.
That's spectacular. And you said since old school, original Nintendo. What's your favorite game, old school?
Probably either Mario or my favorite franchise of all time is called The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
And I still love those to this day. They're
Link.
incredible.
Link Forever.
You know Link?
The Nintendos belong to me at this household. So when my kids had to ask permission to use my gaming systems.
No way. Do you play?
We still play now. My kids are gone, and like now I don't really have a gaming system, but I gamed and we gamed. The
That's
gaming
amazing. Best mom ever.
To me.
But also, like a perfect parenting strategy, right? Like it's yours.
Like they had to ask me.
Yeah.
My friends knew they had to ask me to play the video games, and because they belonged to me, and it also just like took away a lot of that, like from my oldest son in particular, like the can we play now or how long can we play for? It was like, oh, it's not mine, it's my mom's. So
yeah.
we have to ask her. But no, The Legend of Zelda, like those are classics, and the music that you get at Castle Music. So
it's so good. It's so good.
I love all the like Castle music or the walking around music or
it's so good.
And then just for Switch, they had some of the classic Zelda come back out, and so they've got their whole online platform, and they have like all of the old school, the old school games that I used to play as a kid. So my younger son and I were like going through some of those.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
How old's your son?
My oldest one. My two sons range from 27 to 31. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So one's an engineer, one's a choir teacher, but here we are all.
Oh, no way. That's like two completely opposite, different ends of the spectrum.
Right. And that will sit around all and game. And now
I love that.
Like everybody, my daughter-in-law games too. So she'll take you out on Mario Kart every time. Doesn't matter the platform.
Oh, so you tell her I want to challenge her in Mario Kart. It's on.
It's like people taking you out.
I am not a gamer, but right now I can tell there's a Mario Kart tournament going on with my boys. So you might hear them.
I am going to log in.
And come join the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
One is just holding the remote and not really controlling it.
We have a little bit of that going on now.
How old are they? They're a little bit younger?
My boys are 7 and 12. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the 7-year-old's probably just about getting the point where
sometimes
he races, sometimes he's just like, yeah, go.
Yeah.
We got a 6-year-old in ours, and he's telling me that I am not keeping up, and he just turned 6 too, and he's just like,
it's great when a kid is just chirping you. Just
how about if I change your settings for you?
You're the worst, Mom.
You're not changing my settings.
Yeah.
And my son is dying, falling off, because he used to come and ask, Mom, can you get us through this part?
That's so funny.
Love it.
Oh, man.
All right. Love that you are part of gaming things. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So what kind of music do you like? What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite song or a favorite musician?
I kind of probably hit my, I don't know, heyday, or like came into music probably in the 90s is what resonates the most with me. So like I kind of came up on like a lot of pop music. So I'm a top 40s guy, kind of at heart. That's what I usually have on in the car if I'm listening to music. But, I came up with like, when I was in high school, it was like all the rage was like, I don't know, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Britney Spears and, that whole era of music. But then you've also got like, I'm a big fan of like Blink-182 from back in the day. If you go to the other end, and there was like Silverchair and Nirvana and all that kind of like anything from kind of that mid to late 90s, early 2000s era was kind of like that was in my wheelhouse. And anytime anything from that era comes on in the car, you just crank it up.
Yep. Yeah, you're all gonna be, you're just gonna start going. you have
Yeah.
a favorite song or something you for sure will turn way up every time it comes on?
It's
Yeah,
something about that music from high school, though, right? Like, it just never leaves you.
It never does. Like, it just, I think at that age, it just has such a profound impact on who you are. And you're just, your identity, I think at that moment in time is so intertwined with all of that stuff, you know, and you just kind of live in that bubble of high school and, you know, music and who you're hanging around with and your movies. And like, it just, yeah, but I just respect to any artist out there. Honestly, it's not easy. And like, there's so many talented, you know, talented people out there, you know. You go back even further, Aerosmith and, you know, Rolling Stones, and like that was some music I can remember like as a kid, like hearing, you know, my parents maybe playing or something like that. The Beatles, you know, Beatles are unbelievable. Obviously it's the Beatles, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Same. Well, this has been really fun, Jon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Hopefully we can have you back for another project, or if season 3 gets a green light, that would be great to talk to you then too.
Keep your fingers crossed. I'd love to come back anytime.
Absolutely.
Well,
Are you
I'll get a poster on this wall right here.
Yeah. we need like a When Hope Calls
poster.
I want Kevin McGarry right here on my wall.
Yeah, that's not even this year's poster. That's like last year's poster.
Yeah.
2 seasons ago. Oh no, I was just gonna say something and then I forgot.
Well, we're excited to have you here. We're excited for the season. When Hope's Calls. People are really enjoying the episodes we've seen so far. We've seen two episodes, and we're excited to see where everything goes. And I'm really enjoying Sam's adventure. So it's fun to see him come back from prospecting and just kind of drop himself back into town and Maggie's life and her parents' judgment and
lots of fun.
They judge so hard.
It was so fun though. Like you're just like, yeah, we're judging you from over here.
I know what I was going to say. Are you on X while everybody's watching? Because the fandom typically is tweeting or whatever.
Yeah, it was a little bit of madness. I was trying to keep up with it all, you know, when the first episode dropped. But yeah, I thank everyone who's out there live tweeting, and I couldn't tune in last week. Unfortunately, I was busy, but I'll be popping in from time to time and hopefully keeping up with it. And if anybody wants to say hi, it's just my name on pretty much all the social media. Okay. So look me up and say hello.
Awesome. We will look for you there. So thank you again, Jon, for being here. And thank you, everybody, for watching or listening. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.